We're here at Melbourne Chess Club with international arbiter Gary Bekker and our favourite ranger, Jamie Kenmure. How are you, fellas? You're here for the Australian Women's Masters.
Yeah, it's we're enjoying sunny Melbourne.
Exactly, can't complain. Glad that the event's going ahead, and what more could really ask for in Melbourne?
In your case, Jamie, you could complain, but we wouldn't listen to you. Is that correct?
Complain?
True, no.
Nah, far from it. I don't complain. I'm a very easy, relaxed person.
The Australian Open tennis is on, so lots of things happening in town.
And so, guys, what gave you the idea to run the Australian Masters here at Melbourne Chess Club?
It's been a dream of Jamie's for a long time to run a women's Masters, and he's been talking about it a lot. Not necessarily doing much, but talking about it a lot. And we've finally decided we'll get our heads together and get organised. And I think it's a good step forward for Australian women's chess to have a women's Masters event parallel with the Australian Masters that happens a little bit earlier on, a month or two ago.
I think I'll just even go further. I think that's probably the first development of chess to really promote it in the Oceania region. A lot of people think women's chess, me, woman, all the rest of it, but seriously, chess for women in Oceania is quite dead, and I think this is going to be the really first step to establishing a bit. And I have a dream of actually wanting to run the first ever women's international Master Norm event, but with the
Who knows?
quality of
Maybe
players,
we can build it up to that.
it is possible.
Yeah.
It's a dream of mine. This is the first step. Let things just take its course from there.
So it's an excellent initiative, and it follows on from the very successful Victorian Women's Championship that was recently held. How did that event?
Look, that was probably an inspiration for us because we were just surprised at how many people entered that. And, if there wasn't much of a turnout for the Vic Women's, we would have thought, well, look, obviously the interest is not there. And I think there's been a long-standing misconception that there's not much interest, and yet a whole lot of women came out of the woodwork to play in that event, and it, I think, inspired us and gave us the confidence to go ahead and organise this thing.
I notice in Victoria there's a lot of promising young girls coming through as well, and I think that in the future this bodes well. Do you see the fields becoming stronger and stronger?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I can see that, with the quality of chess that's being played amongst women, and I think a great example is the Australian Open, where there's about 5, 6, maybe even 10 girls playing, and they were pitting really against the men, and to have an all-girls tournament, and with the Victorian junior girls starting to come through, put their strength and their abilities and talents, you'll soon see potentially maybe a Victorian Women's Masters event, and fight for a spot in the Australian Women's Masters eventually in the
certainly players
future.
like Savithny, Narendran and Megan Setiabudi. I mean, they're just doing so well, and I think this is an excellent chance for them to compete against experienced players. We had hoped we'd have 1 or 2 international players in the event, and I think it's a good dry run for the Oceania Women's Zonal Championship.
Who's the top seed in the event, and what's her form leading into the tournament?
Okay, top seed is Catherine Girac from New South Wales, 2200 ACF, does not have a FIDE rating. Based on FIDE ratings, I think the top seed is Alana Chibnall, just from memory. So it should be quite an interesting event. Most of the players are roughly around the 1800 mark, so it's anyone's game.
But look, on paper, I'd say that Catherine's a hot favourite, and it's just a shame that Stephanie Schulte from Germany, who had been slated to play, pulled out due to work commitments only a few days ago, and if she was in the field as well, I think we would have had a really very tough fight between those 2 or 3 players at the top. But
The MCC peasants are saying that Tanya Kolak's a dark horse for the event. What's your opinion on that one?
Seriously, to be perfectly honest, I think Tanya's going to cause a couple of upsets in this event, and I've seen her play over the last year, and there's nothing to say that she can't, just ruffle a few feathers, as they say, as the saying goes, because she does have talent, and there is quality there, but don't be surprised with a few upsets, and I must say I'm very thankful to the Melbourne Chess Club for wanting to host.
My personal tip is Savi, who I think is an exceptional player, very good attacker, and she's had a lot of experience with playing in the Olympic Youth team. She won the Victorian Women's pretty easily.
yeah, pretty good result there for her, and I think her, Alana and Catherine, they'd be the 3 favourites.
Definitely. Actually, just to talk a little bit about Savithri, when she played in the youth team. It was amazing to watch her under time pressure. She is going to be one of the hardest to crack because she knows how to deal with time pressure. And beating some of the strongest people in the youth Olympia was just amazing. Like, you think a position that's closed, hard to find any solutions, and she just comes out and forces her opponent to make mistakes. So don't be surprised if she'll get. I reckon she'll probably even give Catherine Dirac a good run for her money as well.
There's also rumoured that Elizabeth Merker-Warren and Holly Kong are prepared to take on the whole women's team in Fight Club on Thursday night. Will you guys be appearing for your free drumsticks?
Well, Holly was the reserve for the event, and it was a bit of a toss-up as to whether she would fill in when Stephanie Schulte pulled out, or Tanya Kraveska. So Tanya's filled in. Holly's kindly decided to stand aside, I think simply so that she can give the girls a bit of a rev up from the sidelines. I think maybe this Thursday will be the night for us to come along to Fight Club.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, fellas, and thank
Cheers.
you for the interview.
No worries.
Thank you so much.